What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're looking at the MLB Prizepicks plays for Monday, June the 6th. We have a pretty small MLB slate today, so not a huge board for us to look at, but I do have some that I want to take advantage of. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming off a very good weekend in terms of Prizepicks. Our last 3 days for MLB went 8-1. We swept on Friday, swept on Saturday, and then yesterday could have had the sweep, but Wainwright didn't get us any Ks. We needed 5 from Wainwright. We already got the over on Castillo and the over on Morton, but hopefully we can get back on track today and get the sweep on these 3 picks. I'm going to be looking at the strikeout prop, so let's go ahead and get started. So as always, you can hit the like button if you enjoy the video, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have yet to sign up on Prizepicks, you can use my code PROCESS and they'll match your first deposit up to $100, and you can check out all the other links down below in the description. So the first prop I want to take advantage of is going to be the over strikeouts on Mr. Robbie Ray. It's only at 5.5 right now. He is having a pretty poor season, coming off of an incredible season last year where not only was he great with the strikeouts, but he was limiting damage. And so far this year, he's giving up, he's still been good with the strikeouts. Like, can't discredit that, but he's giving up a lot of earned runs. So he's not able to go as deep into games because he's kind of making a mess sometimes on the bases by walking guys, giving up hits, giving up runs. But I do like him to get at least 6 strikeouts. I mean, he's been pretty consistent in doing that. Overall in the season, or overall in his last 10 starts, he's hit this 6 out of 10 times. But if you look at his last 5, it's been easy hitting 10 in 2 of those 5. He had a 9, an 8, and a 6. So we only need 6 against Houston. And Houston isn't a huge strikeout heavy team. But there are some hitters that he can look to take advantage of, especially some of the lefties here. And looking back at last season, I mean, this was a number that wasn't much of a sweat for Robbie Ray. I mean, he had some monster strikeout games last season for the Blue Jays. And if you look at his last 43 starts, he's hit this 65% of the time. So that's like almost a minus 200 would be the implied over on the Ks. If you look at plate IQ here, looking at Robbie Ray this season, still has a 31% strikeout rate. Looking at the lineup for the Astros, there's some hitters that he can look to take advantage of the bottom of the order with the 30+% K rate on the catcher Maldonado. On Siri, he can maybe look to take advantage of Alvarez, lefty, take advantage of maybe Kyle Tucker, lefty, and then hopefully he can get one of these top 3 guys to swing and miss a bit. His strikeout numbers are good against both sides, over 30%. And against the lefties, which he should be looking at least 3 lefties here, which are a couple of their better hitters. Hopefully he's able to go a little bit deeper into the game. So that's the first over taken is Robbie Ray. The second over on strikeouts we'll be taking is going to be 4.5 for Carlos Cookie Carrasco. He's going up against the San Diego Padres, and this is another one that I feel pretty good about. It's only at 4.5, so we need 5 strikeouts. He typically will go around 5, maybe 5 1/3, 5 2/3. Can get up to like 6 innings. Probably doesn't go much more than that, at least this year. On this season, he's been hitting this at a very nice clip. He's hit the 7 of his 10 starts. Some of these have just been barely there by the hook, but he's still getting you at least 5 Ks in most of his starts. And his last 5, he's hit this 3 out of the last 5 games. Look at his last 30 starts. He's hit this 14 out of 22. So another one that's well over 60%, looking at 64%. Strikeout stuff for Carlos Carrasco. And looking at you can even see some of the historical matchups that the opponent hitters have against Carlos Carrasco. He does have some decent stuff. He has had some success against Hosmer. He's had some success against getting Ks against like Machado and Alfaro, who strikes out a lot. Mazara strikes out a lot. So there are some strikeouts in this San Diego Padres lineup. If you take a look at it over on Plate IQ, we can see that you're probably going to be looking to strike out Luke Voit here. If you're Carlos Carrasco, you're probably going to have success at striking out the bottom of the order with Grisham and Alfaro and the catcher and Kim, and even can get some strikeouts at the top of the order with Profar and potentially Machado. So looking at his numbers against both sides of the plate, I mean, been pretty much the same, 20% K rate to lefties, 22% to righties, so a little bit better there. He's actually done a better job of limiting some damage to lefties, and you are going to have a good amount of lefties and switch hitters in this lineup with Profar, Cronenworth, Hosmer, Mazara, and Grisham, so hopefully he can continue that success. And it's not a terrible ballpark to pitch in. It may be a little bit less pitcher-friendly than his home park, but Petco Park is still a pretty pitcher-friendly ballpark. So taking the over 4.5 Ks on Carlos Carrasco. And then the final one, or maybe we'll look at some other potential ones. But last one for me in this entry would be taking the over 2.5 Ks on Ross Stripling. This number feels pretty low. He hasn't been a starter for the last couple of weeks for the Blue Jays, but with Ryu potentially going on the injured list, they're going to need him to be a little bit more stretched out and probably go at least 60, 65, up to 70 pitches today. He hasn't pitched since June 1st, so he should be pretty rested, just like a normal starter would be. And last season, he was a starter for most of the season. Easily, I mean, you'd expect a starter to get you at least 3 Ks, so it's not much of a surprise there. But this season, he's also been in the bullpen a lot, so he was a reliever. Last game against the White Sox, he went 2 2/3, pitched 38 pitches. He got you 2 Ks in that one. Then he was a reliever against, for most of the month of May. At the beginning of the month, he started a couple games and got you 78 pitches and 63 pitches. At the end of April, he was starting, got up to 84 against the Red Sox one day. But in his first kind of start in about a month or so, I'd probably expect him to hopefully at least get to like 60 pitches or so, and maybe a little bit more because he has been a starter. Maybe he can get up to like 70. So we only need 3 strikeouts here. I think it's definitely plenty doable against this Royals team, which does have some Ks in it, and Stripling does give you decent strikeout stuff on the season. And if we look at this lineup here, you're going to be looking to have success in the middle of the lineup. If you're Stripling with good strikeouts, high strikeout rate for Bobby Witt, Perez, Melendez, Dozier, Rivera, Taylor here. So this team does strike out 22% of the time. Only guys that are not prone to strikeouts are Merrifield, Benintendi, and Lopez. All the other guys are well over 20%. A couple of these guys well over 27%. And Stripling, 22% K rate to lefties, 21% K rate to righties. And you're going to be getting a decent mix here, mostly righties for him, but only need 3 strikeouts. This is a guy that could get that done in like an inning or 2 if he's able to strike out the side, or if he has like 3 Ks through 2. So really like that number for Stripling. I'm pretty sure it's going to get up to at least 3 once they probably get confirmation that he's probably going to go at least like 60 pitches or so. Once he gets, hopefully, I mean, that's what I'm expecting, to get it stretched out a little bit against KC, because he has been a starter. And then last guy that we could look to would be like Blake Snell, taking the over on his strikeouts. Just because it's only 5.5. This is only his 4th start of the season, but he had gotten up there in pitch count in his last couple of starts, and he's had a 7K game and a 6K game and a 5K game in his 3 starts so far. And the Mets don't have a ton of strikeout stuff in the lineup, but you do have some hitters that he can look to strike out, and Blake Snell still has elite strikeout stuff, even though he's dealing with some injuries the last couple of years. But look to have success against J.D. Davis. Definitely can strike out guys like Mark Canha, Starling Marte, and potentially Nimmo lefty-lefty with Snell has been great at striking out lefties at almost 40%. So you'll probably only have 2 lefties in this lineup, but Blake Snell would be the last guy if you're looking to make it a 4-man entry. But that's what I got for you guys today, over 5.5 strikeouts. So let's get 6 strikeouts for Robbie Ray, 5 Ks needed for Carrasco, and 3 Ks needed for Stripling. That's my entry for today. If you guys have any other questions, you can leave them down below in the description. Best of luck today, and I will see you all next time.